to another episode of the Digital Teaching Talk. I'm your host, Jacob Spradlin. I'm the Director of Online Instructional Development and Support from SHSU Online. I'm coming to you today to tell you about what I think is probably the most impactful change in course design for Ultra since we've had it in our shared services agreement at San Diego State University and our partner institutions. And it is one that I gave you a little bit of a preview in when we did our Texas State University Systems Faculty Development Day 2 weeks ago. And I wanted to really get this to you now to get you to kind of see it before it becomes available. These changes that I'm about to talk to you about come available August 8th. So get ready to really make your Ultra documents much better. So that being said, we're talking about this was announced literally this 2-3 days ago at Anthology Together. I just got back. It's hot off the presses, right? I got back into town yesterday evening, and here I am today, Friday, telling you about these wonderful new features. So anyway, I digress. So let's get into why they're important and what I'm talking about. So if you remember, your Ultra documents essentially look like this, right? You can make them look wonderful, but they're very much a one single column affair. I've got some images, I've got documents, I've got engaging things here, but they may not be exactly what I need them to be. I want to have some things left on the right. Maybe I want to have multiple columns. Outside of putting them in tables, there's not much I can do about it, and tables limit what I can do. Well, with the new content designer from Ultra, I'm allowed to do so much more. We're going to follow this particular video up. We're going to start loading in the how-tos and all the good stuff for how this exactly works in our support org and in our trainings that we're going to offer. So don't stress about it. This is just kind of like a preview, an appetizer, an apéritif, if you think about it. Anyway, just like a little taste, a little dessert. But that being said, please get in here and watch, and it will become available to you August 8th. Okay, so here's the original one. Now let's start to create our own document, maybe in a way that we want to. All right? So here I am. I'm in a course with nothing in it. I'm going to choose Add Content, and I'm going to choose Create and choose Document. Now, you're going to note some things that are different right off the bat. But first, I am going to do a little bit of naming here. So I'm going to go Content, Design, Demo. Boom. Okay, so I want you to see this. In a blank Ultra document, it used to kind of be a big box that would show up. Now this shows up at the top on a blank Ultra document. Content, HTML, file upload, cloud upload. You'll also see content market, but this is a staging server. We don't have the content market. Content collection, and then convert a file. We're going to talk about the file converter right after we do this demo here. So just stick with me. I'm going to choose content, and I might go in and grab an introductory couple of paragraphs, right? And these are just some text I'm using for filler for the purposes of this demonstration. You'll note I copied in that text from another website and it had gray font. I'm going to use the clear format eraser and take care of that, right? So now I have text, right? And as in the old days, I would need to go and maybe add some more content. Now, I can add content just by doing the plus above and below like I always have, right? I can go here and do it. Or they've conveniently added a plus up at the top of the document. For those people that want to get there and they've got multiple things happening, this might be easier for you, and I can choose content. Now I can go inside this content and choose, I can choose to do the wonderful YouTube video. So if I go to YouTube video, I can then choose what is the name of that YouTube video? Excuse me. What is the name of that YouTube video? It is this one right here. And I can copy that name, and I'm going to go back to my document, and I'm going to search for it. I could also do the URL in most cases, but there it is, right? So I'm going to choose select, and I'm going to insert. So right now, if I were to stop right there, I've made these changes. Now, I don't want to leave this editor, and I can close this, by the way. I don't want to leave this editor, even though those things look like they're saved. They're not. You can't leave this page until I come up here and hit save. But you're going to see now that this pretty much looks exactly like the other one, right? So if I were to switch tabs, oh yeah, Jacob, that's the same thing. Well, what's the difference? How do we get it to be different? Well, guess what? I'm about to show you. I'm going to go on Edit, and I'm going to come here, and you'll see here we've got this up here. I'm going to take this bad boy, bring it down to one column. Now you'll note as I expand it, you can see the columns in the background show up. So that would be a 2 column, that'd be a 3 column, and back at 4 columns. I'm actually going to go to 2. And so now I've got the text on one half of the page. So that now there's nothing over here. But the good news here is that I can take this one, drag it to 2 columns, and it shows up underneath it. But now I have the ability to take these dots here, hold my mouse down, and drag it up. Oh my gosh, Jacob, are you just showing me what I think you're just showing me? Yes, I am. And so I can then give myself a little grace, provide a little extra space there. I can come in and add in, create this experience, which is a little bit more engaging and a little better use of my space. Now, you'll note in this particular example, I use the YouTube mashup that's inherent inside Blackboard to create the vignette here. You might be saying to yourself, well, Jacob, that's exciting. That's still a small image or a small video. There's another way for me to make this work. And I'm going to show you that. But still relish in this experience that we're looking at right now. This is nice. This is awesome. I automatically have the text, and then I've got the image. Hallelujah. That's what I've been looking for, right? Okay. What do I do? Well, you're going to notice at the top of the screen, I've got these undo and redo buttons. If I don't save yet and leave the page, I can actually go back in time by clicking the undo buttons. Look at that, right? There it is. Boom, 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 and there it is. So there, I've undone it. Now what I'm going to do is delete this entire thing. So now it's back to just the text. Now what I'm going to do first is I'm going to go to the YouTube video and grab the embed code. You may or may not have known this little secret about using Blackboard, but Blackboard has another content block called an HTML block that conveniently the YouTube embed video works really well in. So I can copy that code and then come back to the document, go to my plus, go to my HTML block, and then paste it in, right? Then I can get out of that block, and what will happen is it will load that video larger, and it will show up larger. And when I when I have to make it in that other column, it's not going to be quite as small as the little vignette of the YouTube mashup. Feel free to rewind this particular episode and see what I just did again for you. So now I can do that same thing. I can bring this back to 2 columns. I can bring this to 2 columns. And then I can take and move this one right up there. And so now when I click out, it's giving me the full video treatment. So what I can do now is come in and maybe I wanted to make this something a little different. I could do a bulleted list with this first one, and then one for the second one, and then bam, right? If there was more text there. But you can see here, while I could have an introduction to this particular topic in the text, and then a video right there on the right. Sweet goodness, isn't that amazing, right? And then I can still do the things I have done, right? I can come in and put in a plus, and maybe I want an image that divides these two things. Maybe I want a demonstrational image that just allows me to come in and add something that, and I'm ignore the alt text for right now, that adds some separation. So boom, there's an image, right? So I have one right there. Again, if I wanted, this one's a little too big, so I don't want to use it. So we're gonna delete it. But now I wanted to show you how I can do something that makes my stuff even a little better, right? Even a little better. So what I want to do is I am going to create, if you will, just some text. So I'm going to come in to my back to my lorem ipsum generator, and I'm going to take and copy, all of this text here, right? And I'm going to come back to my document, and now I am going to have some fun. I'm going to go ahead and create this content and go and hit and paste it all in. Now you'll note that it is in itself very gray still, so I need to come in and hit that eraser. And there it is, right? Now what I want to do is I want to start taking this one bit of text and I want to turn it into multiple columns. And These workflows are going to improve as more people use the software and we submit ideas to Blackboard. I can think of a couple ways I'd like this to be a little different, but right now, still, it is amazing. So watch. I'm going to take the first bit of my text here, and let's say I want it to go right to here, right? Whoops, I'm going to need to reselect that for just a second. Right to there, and I'm going to copy it. And I'm going to come down and do a content block and paste it, right? Now I'm going to take that content block and go and just make it just the one content block. So now I've got some text that I could put like a heading on top of it, right? So I could come in here and be like heading 1, and this could be in itself my ability to give it a header that this is topic thing 1, and let's say I want to do the same thing for that, and I'm just going to recopy this, by the way, because it makes my life a little easier. Whoops, might keep moving my mouse just a little bit more. Now I want you to see something in here. It even tells me what the word count is of what I'm typing. I love that. So now I could come in and just add another content block down just underneath it. And there it is. I could take said content block and make it again the one column setup and bring it in, right? Whoops, not where I wanted it to go. So bring it right there. Oh, look at that. And then I could take it and break it and be the one content. There, see? I have 2 columns, guys. 2 columns that don't have a table. So let's say I wanted to add in an image in the third content block. How would I do that? Well, I would simply go to here and then maybe choose to go to I could do this in a number of different ways, by the way. So I could choose to add a content block with an image in it. I could choose to use file upload. Whatever I wanted to do, I could do here. So if I chose file upload, I could then find the thing that I wanted to use. So I'll use this infographic, right? And again, I'm going to pretend that I did the alt text because this isn't a page that's going publicly anywhere. But now you see I've got this particular graphic. I can do what I just did with the others and bring it down to just the one, right? And now I can take that graphic and I can put it maybe right there in that column. Isn't that cool? And then I could do another column right there. So for instance, I could come back and go right down here and choose content, paste in that same text just to give you an idea of how that would work, right? And then I could take that content, bring it down to 1, just like I just did, and take it and drag it right, whoops, I drug it a little wrong place, Jacob, right back there. And so now look at what I've just done. I'm gonna hit save. I now have this particular page with video and text, and I can get rid of this paragraph in just a second, I will. But look at that. I'm able to do things that are more engaging from the standpoint of this document. Oh my wow. So guys, the content designer, we're gonna have trainings for this. I'm gonna show you how to use it. It's gonna be great, but just whet the appetite, start marinating on how you might want to think about doing your content in your courses. We now have the ability to do what we've been wanting to do for a little while. So I'm super excited about that. Okay, last thing for our update, and then I will we'll let you go, right? So I hit save. I'm gonna close that. Now, I'm gonna look at, here's a Word document that I've got. So, or maybe I closed it. Let's open it back up. So I have a Word document called test document that I want to put in my course. Now, the file converter in Ultra supports docs, Word documents, PDFs, PowerPoints, and even OpenOffice documents, or Office document templates, excuse me, not OpenOffice. But anyway, it supports all that stuff, right? So here's mine. So if I wanted to, I'm going to minimize that for now, and I'm actually going to take and create a new document. And it could be any of the Word documents that I've got on my computer or PDFs. And I'm going to call this conversion demo, right? All right, so now, what do you think I'm going to do here? I'm going to go to convert a file. So I'll choose convert a file and then go to doc to convert. It's going to go through the process and it's then going to take that conversion and place it into this Ultra document. Believe it or not, it brings in the text, but it also brings in the image. So it brings in both of those things, right? Look at that. Look at that, right? It even brought in the alt text from my image that I already had in there. So again, pretty neat. But you'll see here, it's got the header, it's got the text, it's got the other text. So it brought all of that stuff in. And if I was ready, I just hit save. And whammo, it has taken and brought in this wonderful thing. So again, whoops, there it is. So it's right there. My server, our test server is a little slow, so it's a little, with the images loading, it might take it a second or two because this isn't the full, like the fully production server. But I really hope that you were able to get some stuff out of today that was meaningful to you, that I was able to show you ways in which you can make your content more engaging, more fun, just a little bit more enriched in terms of that. So we looked at the content designer for Ultra Documents and the file converter. There are other things coming, folks. So just be ready. It's going to be a fun next couple of months as Blackboard and Anthology roll out some things for Blackboard that are going to make your lives a lot better for creating this engaging content. Knowledge check questions that can live in a document in one of those columns, for instance, like a multiple choice question that I can, like a student just read or watched something, they can ask themselves a question to see how much they learn from it. And that it's again, good stuff coming. But I hope you liked today's episode. Admittedly, it was long, but I think you'll find that come August 8th, you're going to love this new tool. Anyway, we hope you have a great day and we look forward to seeing you in the fall.